With Skating Polly, day one, morning one, early afternoon one of Riot Fest. How are we doing so far?
Really good. That was like a really fun show. We were not expecting that big of a crowd. I was so nervous beforehand. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't as nervous as Kelly. She was jumping around. Even after the show, she was nervous. It was silly. It was silly.
Well, now you can enjoy your day, right?
Yeah, we got
Awesome. So what influenced songs on your new EP, New Trick?
Actually kind of just musicians and like road experiences. I would say like like other musicians and like big tours that we'd gone on and stuff. I think that's where most of my lyrics directly came from. And then and I don't mean like the musicians we've been listening to. I just mean like the people I got to know. I wrote a couple songs about some friends and yeah. What would you say? What inspired?
Like friends and, like Kelly said, musicians and friends. It's, Nina and Louise obviously inspired a lot.
Yeah, and for Hail Mary, like, I really liked that we came up with that title. Like, it was first just spitballing lyrics. We'd write the melody together and kind of just jam out something, or we'd just spit something out, and Nina thought I said Hail Mary, and so we kind of, like, shaped the song around that, and so I say, hey, Mary, and I only say Hail Mary once now. And I like that because my favorite Veruca Salt song is All Hail Me, and my favorite Liz Phair song, or one of them, is Help Me Mary. So it was cool because we were recording with Brad Wood, who did both of those records. So, yeah.
So what's your songwriting process like? How do you get started?
Usually I come up with a cool riff or something. Sometimes I'll be like singing a melody in my head and I'll try to like shape the guitars and instruments around that. But generally I come up with the like instrumental part. I just kind of spitball a melody. And then I write lyrics to it. But also, I mean,
that's pretty much the same for me, but also recently we've been like working on songs from the very beginning together since Curtis joined the band.
Yeah.
And what was it like working with Louise and Nina from Veruca Salt?
I mean, they're just like the nicest, of course, and they have really good stories, and they're moms now. Like, it was like so sweet, like seeing like, like they're like really good moms, and they have like incredibly like smart, fun children, but they're also rock and rollers and they have crazy stories.
It's a good thing to aspire to, right?
Yeah,
it's a great balance. So where can their influence be heard, on what songs, or on all of them? I
mean, all of them. Louise like wrote most of the song Black Sky. We wrote like the bridge kind of, and I mean we had little things that we would attributed to it, and like the way I sang it was like maybe a little different than her, but she pretty much came to me with that song. She sent me a demo on her phone and I was like, yeah, there's not really a lot I want to change. I really like this. And we just, in the studio, we'd write a lot of layers. They taught me, I mean, I've always liked to just like come up with layers and layers in the studio, but watching them like was the best lesson in harmony. Like now I'm just like always wanting to write harmonies, and
And you talked briefly a little bit before about Hail Mary. Tell me about the video treatment and who came up with that.
It was just, we found this house on Airbnb, and we knew we were going to make a video, and we knew our friend Dave Smith was going to direct it and shoot it. We didn't, and we had the house.
We had like a week to come up with a video. Like someone told us like, oh, we have a site that already wants to premiere it, so now you just got to make a video. And like, that's one of the most personal, sad songs I've ever written. And so I was like, how are we going to make a video for this without making it incredibly preachy? So we came up with this concept that we all vowed to keep secret, but pretty much every different scene represents like something. And it's like, it tells a story. And I mean, like, the video is about, I mean, the song is about like being addicted and attached to like destructive people, like people who just ruin your life and destructive things, and like being a self-addicting addict. Not like that I'm self-destructive addict, sorry. And not saying that I am, it's just and so we came up with this like faceless man and this whole like story between them, and yeah, it was cool.
And what role does a music video play in a band in 2017?
I think it's a big part of it. I can't tell you how many times like people, music videos, that's what you said, yeah, come up to me and they're like, I saw all your YouTube videos. I love your YouTube videos. I found you guys through YouTube.
Yeah. Kelly really likes to ask people like, oh, how'd you find out about us? And a majority of the time recently, at least, it's been like, oh, you were on YouTube.
What role do you see music streaming sites in your career as well?
You know, I kind of go back and forth on them. I mean, like, I've had a lot of friends be like, other musicians be like, nah, they're like ripping you off, you don't get paid that much, and blah, blah, blah. And I do see that side of it, but also it's really cool kind of to have everything so accessible. I mean, that's kind of a hard one that I've swung back and forth on. I mean, we're like, yeah, we'll put all of our music up on them. Like, if we're getting robbed, so is everyone else, so I guess it's fine.
How'd you guys go about choosing your set list for Riot Fest?
Well, like every night on this tour, we've kind of like swung back and we've like changed it a little. Every night's been different, yeah. And we were swinging back and forth between doing Peyton's new song and then that Queen for a Day that we did today. And I mean, mainly I was just like picked my favorites off the big fit, and like the ones I felt the most confident with was like the main thing. And like, well, what are people gonna want to hear? What would people be sad if they didn't hear? Okay. Yeah, I think I can play that. Okay, let's do that.
And you mentioned tour. You're in the middle of the 40th anniversary tour with the X. How did that come about?
Oh, X is great. Yeah, Xene has known me and Peyton since we were, I don't know, a long time ago. We met her at a solo show of hers in Oklahoma City, and she ended up producing our second record, and she's like family now. Like every time I come to LA, I see her. We opened for the Flesh Eaters back in 2015, and that's John Doe's other band. And we did like 3 dates with them in December, and then they just started like snowballing. And we got to do this whole tour. We did some with them in May. I don't know.
So what's up next for you guys after Riot Fest?
We have the rest of the tour, of course, and then we're going back home to start writing and finishing up songs for the next record, which we're going to record in November.
Well, stay tuned for much more from Skating Polly. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change.